Hello, people of the internet. Today I want to show off my MIDAS Legend 3000. I very rarely see these on the internet, and I think there's one or two videos of these already, but they're in Spanish, so that's not very helpful to a guy like me who flunked out a Spanish one 3 times. Just give you all a quick look. It's June 1st, 2022. I live in Nebraska. Drove all the way to Washington, D.C. to go pick this up. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful desk. It's going to replace my Verona over here. I like this desk, but the EQs have 0 Q control. I don't like that very much because, I don't know, it's 2022 and I like having a Q on stuff. These, luckily, the mid-bands, completely parametric. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Has a few problems. No caps are missing. The guys we picked it up from, they were super nice and they took absolutely astonishing care for this console. The manufacturing date on the back is 0802, so she's 20 years old this year. Kind of crazy. Not very much younger than me. Every single auxiliary has an EQ with fully parametric mid-bands. Also very handy. 10 VCAs. Very nice, very nice. The main problem with it that I can find is that some of the channels, particularly this one and this one, the little controller that's in the channel is not receiving assignment. Just the aux section is not receiving the assignment parameters. So I'll have to look into that. I did lift one bucket out, this one, and it was channel 24. Actually, I've lifted it out twice now. And the first time, when I got it, when we decased it this morning, all the LEDs were on, they work. And when you power cycle it and it goes through the LED check, the LEDs do all light up, so the LEDs are not burned out. But it's just not receiving commands from the computer, which is really frustrating. So you can't assign. So on this desk has an automation section, very unusual for an analog desk, but it was 2002 or 2000, yeah, 2002. And I guess they added some things into this analog desk that are now more traditionally found on digital desks. So the way you assign or turn auxes on and off is you come up here, you have to unlock the desk, click the aux, and then select which aux 1 through 12 you want to assign on any given channel. So let's say 5. Come up, hit the set button down here, and that's what turns it on and off. Next channel over, 23, hit the set button, nothing happens. So, very not great. And to get back to my earlier story, I opened the bucket up one time, all the LEDs worked, and I reseated the connector, and then half of them worked, and then I just lifted it up again just to see how bad it would be to lift the whole bucket out of there and reseat and contact clean every ribbon cable. And I power cycled it, and now none of them work. So, but it's just on these 2 channels. So seems very, very fixable. The only other problem I can find with it is that the input for the talkback, it totally works, but for some reason it doesn't light up this little signal indicator, and also the preamp gain for the talkback doesn't affect that input. There is a talk input on the rear, and it does go through this gain, and it lights up this little signal presence indicator, but I can't get it to go where this would go, because you assign the talk there. Yeah. Just wanted to show things off a little bit, because, you know, nobody's documented these. It has some real old man gunk on it, so I'm going to clean it way, way, way up. I'll probably document some of that. Yeah, you can... Ugh. Other than those few little problems, the desk is in absolutely flawless condition. I think all this is very fixable with contact cleaner, including the talkback section. That seems... All these little problems seem like ribbon connection problems, and it was in my truck, laying on face up and vibrating down the road for 20 hours. Could have affected some of some of those connections internally. But I just wanted to show some things off since these are seldom documented. I'll probably do a couple more videos on it, especially if I open it up. Might do a couple videos on the automation system because it's really, really confusing, and the manual is just god-awful at explaining it. And yeah, if somebody picked one of these up or we're at a gig where, heaven forbid, this was still a house desk, it'd still be a great house desk, but most guys I feel like would get pretty lost on one of these. Make a little something that somebody could see how to use it in 5 minutes and not lose their mind. There's other things with this desk, like the little monitor faders that only affect the monitor path, but only sometimes, and if you have the auxes in monitor mode. Some very, very interesting quirks about this desk, but stuff that I really like that's probably going to be more or less handy in a studio. The main thing I was excited for was the XL4 preamps that they put in it, and the I think it's the H3000 style EQ. Don't quote me on that though, I'm not super duper read up on it. Forgot to mention there's 4 stereo returns, and there's also 8 groups on top of the 10 VCAs. So, you know, quite a bit. Anyways,